This week on the announcers table is a wild card week, and we're also revealing the winner of the Slam Crate giveaway. He has nothing. Speechless.
Yeah, I'm speechless. That open was so good. I got nothing.
What's going on, Wrestle Geeks? Welcome to another episode of the Announcers Table. As you guys saw last week, I had to shoot the show by myself through my cell phone because my co-host, the Canadian Screwjob, Hertz Gewurz, lost a dear member of the New York Knicks basketball team, Kristaps Porzingis. And Gewurz, are you okay? Are you okay this week? Is everything okay with you?
I'm doing a little bit better. I appreciate your concern. He had surgery. Kristaps Porzingis had surgery on his knee. He's doing better. They said it was successful surgery. I don't know. I'll make it through, but I'm not great.
Well, I mean, if you saw last week's episode, we were intervened, or should I say, taken over by Terraface. As you remember him, he was in the first episode of the Announcers Table, which was a very raw and very new show on Geeks Unlimited. And I guess he got jealous because we upgraded. I got a better co-host. And Terraface, if you're out there, we're coming for you. I'm just gonna let you know now. You're not gonna know when we're gonna strike, but me and the Canadian Screwjob, we know what show you work on, and we're gonna take over that show one day.
Yeah, we ain't scared.
So this week on the Announcers Table, guys, we're just gonna throw a random topics out there. It's gonna be a crazy week. The past 2 weeks have been very, very bland in wrestling, especially for Raw, which is kind of crazy because they have the Elimination Chamber coming up in 2 weeks. Well, actually, a week and a half. And the storyline is just like all over the place. Now we got 7 men entering the Elimination Chamber. There was no qualifying matches for the women. They just picked 5 random women, which I'm upset Nia Jax wasn't involved. I think if she would have been involved, she would just dominate the whole chamber. But to put her up against Asuka, which we know she's not going to end Asuka's streak, is just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on coming into Elimination Chamber and also next month with Fastlane. There's a lot of we know nothing's going to happen, so my question is just why are we doing it, right? Like why are we doing Nia versus Asuka? We know Nia's not going to beat Asuka. We know, we know AJ Styles isn't losing the championship before WrestleMania. We know that. So why are we doing it?
But I mean, unlike everybody else, I find the storyline on SmackDown more intriguing than the storyline that's going on Raw. I mean, yes, it gives the opportunity of AJ Styles possibly losing the title. He has a 20% chance of retaining the title.
He's a 0% chance of losing the title.
You're right.
You can't say you're going to give us Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania and then not give us that, right? So maybe he loses the title.
We're invested already.
Yeah, we're invested. They've already invested in that story. There's no way we're not getting that match. So
I mean, at the end of the day, we know we're gonna get the match, but at the end of the day, they still need a main event for Fastlane. Why not have a Fatal 5-Way? I'm all for the Fatal 5-Way. I'm glad that Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler are in this Fatal 5-Way. I mean, you got probably the top 5 performers on SmackDown in one ring for one night. The other top performer that's not in there is Shinsuke. You know what I'm saying? He's another top performer, but he's going to WrestleMania. He's going to main event WrestleMania, which we know he's really not going to main event WrestleMania because it's probably going to be somebody else. But, you got 5 guys who can tear the house down if they put on a hell of a show come Fastlane.
Yeah, but it's 5 guys that don't make that much sense. It's, we've already seen every permutation possible of AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. We've seen Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler go at each other for months on end. We've seen all of this before. Like, none of this is new. None of this is fresh. And we know how it's ending. So why are we doing it? What is the point?
To
But
give the fans a reason
we
to
need a
watch. To give the
we,
fans the same reason why Ronda Rousey is going to be at the Elimination Chamber to sign a contract. Why are you taking away the spotlight away from the women's Elimination Chamber so Ronda
again.
Rousey can sign a contract? You know why? So they can put some butts in the seats. That's why.
Yeah, and they need to resort to this kind of thing to put butts in seats because they're not writing anything. They're not doing anything worth watching right now.
Well,
So they need to say, "Hey, no, wait, we have a celebrity showing up." Like that's what they have to do, and it's not right. It's not.
well, this is
I
the
don't know.
thing, and I think this is what's going to happen at Elimination Chamber. Asuka's going to beat Nia Jax, right? But then Asuka's going to decide to go to SmackDown to face Charlotte because it would make a better match than Asuka and Alexa Bliss.
Sure, sure, unless
Plus, you can't have
Sasha Banks.
Plus, you can't have Sasha Banks. You can't have Alexa. You can't have Ronda Rousey. You can't have Asuka. You can't have all these women on one show. You're gonna have to split it up somehow. Look what's happening with Bayley. Bayley's getting lost in the shuffle. Nia
Sure.
Jax is getting lost in the shuffle. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of talent on Raw that will be better suited on SmackDown because they need the talent on SmackDown.
Yeah, no, they absolutely need to move some wrestlers around, and they WWE made an announcement pretty recently, starting with Backlash after WrestleMania. The pay-per-views are no longer going to be brand exclusive. They're going to be all of the pay-per-views are going to have talent from SmackDown and Raw, which is I think just one step backwards back to no more brand split at all.
I had no problem with the brand split because, like I said, you give opportunities to different talent to try to win the title. I mean, you have a title on SmackDown, you have a title on Raw. That's fine. As far as the dual brand pay-per-views, I think they should have just left it where it was just the major pay-per-views. Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania. Leave it at just the main pay-per-views and then give each brand its own pay-per-view. Like keeps alternating. Go back and forth, back and forth. This is just getting ridiculous. But the good news is, and I hope this really turns out good, is that due to the fact that Vince McMahon is trying to bring back the XFL, he's going to be giving creative control to his daughter and his son-in-law, which is Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Now, we all seen what Triple H has done in NXT. Phenomenal job. I think Triple H took NXT from something that was basically like Ring of Honor, which you said looked like, what is it?
It looks like I can't watch Ring of Honor because it looks like it's always taking place in some high school gym in some backwater town somewhere.
But you got to remember, Ring of Honor, there's been a lot of great talent that's come out of Ring of Honor. The guy behind me, Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, CM Punk.
Oh no, I would never. I mean, look, the performers on all of these shows, and I'm ragging on SmackDown, I'm ragging on Raw, and I always rag on ROH. The performers on these shows are all top notch. They really are. But the production value on Ring of Honor, it looks like something that my friends would do in their backyard, and it's just not something that I'm going to spend my time watching.
Well, you got to think about it. I mean,
there.
if you think about it. To me, it looks like when we used to watch ECW back in the day. ECW had horrible production.
Mm-hmm.
It was in an auditorium, in a gymnasium, but we loved it. Why? Because we loved the performers. We loved what they were doing. It's the same thing with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but that was back when ECW was new. Like it's old now. You need production value because anyone can have it.
I think honestly, Gervitz, I think you're just spoiled with WWE and their production value. I mean, you're spoiled all the way. I mean, you didn't show up to work last week because somebody tore an ACL and you just couldn't show up to work. It happens all the time. You need to see me cry about when Seth Rollins tore his ACL and had to relinquish the title. No. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, as you can see, this episode, we're just going to go crazy because, like I said, Raw, SmackDown, it hasn't been to our standards. I mean,
it's been the same show for like 4 weeks in a row.
It has been. I mean, the only great thing that's came out of Raw was just the match between Asuka and Sasha Banks.
Sure,
that was probably
I think Asuka and Bayley was also pretty good. But yeah,
it
that
was
Asuka
pretty good. I'm not sure if you saw Raw, but I kind of see a heel turn coming along with Sasha Banks.
Absolutely. Well, here's another problem I have. Another problem I have with the writing on these shows. They don't want I don't know if they don't want heels and faces anymore, but like none of these characters' alignments make any sense. Sasha Banks as a face doesn't make any sense. Charlotte as a face doesn't make any sense. You know, all these wrestlers, Bobby Roode as a face doesn't make any sense. So what are we doing with them?
This is the thing, and this is my scenario. Sasha Banks turns heel either at Elimination Chamber or the night after Elimination Chamber.
Sure.
And she goes on to WrestleMania to face her former best friend Bayley, and she finally gets her WrestleMania moment that she's totally deserved. The past few WrestleManias, she should have had her moment, she didn't. And we all know that, she's probably, what is she, 0-3 against Bayley, 2 in NXT and 1 in Raw? So she's 0-3, so Bayley's her kryptonite. Now, what I see is, I definitely see Asuka jumping ship. I see Asuka moving to SmackDown to face Charlotte, and when she does that, I see Charlotte also turning heel. Because you can't have two baby faces up against each other. So either Asuka's going to turn heel, because as you remember, when Asuka first entered NXT, she was kind of like a heel. She was like this mysterious character. So it was kind of like a heel.
She definitely pulled heel moves against Ember Moon a bunch of times.
Of course. So I do see Charlotte turning heel. I do see Sasha turning heel. Now, the thing is that who's stuck in the limbo right now is Nia Jax. Now, this is the reason why I say she's stuck in the limbo. I see Nia Jax facing Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania, but who's going to be the face in that match? Is it going to be Nia or is it going to be Alexa? Who's going to be the heel?
Again, it's all this 50-50 booking. We don't know. And nobody wants to commit to either side. It doesn't. If they don't want to commit to either side, then just let it ride and let's do away with the alignments altogether. But what we have right now is a bunch of matchups and a bunch of promos that don't make any sense because we've been told how to feel about these wrestlers for so long. Now they're not doing it, and they're not explaining why. They're not showing their work, and they're just not trying hard enough. The writers are. The talent, like I said, is there.
The talent's doing what they can do, with the boundaries they're given.
Yeah,
and
but
like I said,
the writing is just terrible.
WrestleMania is less than a month and a half away. You got Elimination Chamber coming in a week and a half. 2 weeks after that, you got Fastlane. And then 4 weeks after that, you got WrestleMania. So they're going to have to do a lot of catching up because, you're going to have to write storylines for AJ and Shinsuke. You're going to have to write storylines for Bayley and Sasha. You're going to have to do all these storylines. Unless they already have it pre-planned already, which I really highly doubt that they do because the way the stuff is looking now is looking like it's just being rushed. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And that's just me personally. I mean, I fell asleep for like a good 45 minutes during Raw.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, something's not right.
Yeah. These shows are not they're not holding me the way that they used to. And it's just I feel like they've been in a holding pattern for months now, since well before the Royal Rumble. I think what happened at Survivor Series, where they just randomly threw out all of the character build that had been happening prior to Survivor Series, just so that we could believe the Raw versus SmackDown element of it. And they threw everything out, and they were never really able to get anything back. They lost so much momentum months ago that they just haven't been able to get back, and the shows have not recovered since then.
It's not recovered. Like I said, it's been pretty bland. I mean, the only good things that's been coming out of, either show is just the pay-per-views. I mean, Royal Rumble was a hell of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
What was the one before that? Night of Champions was a good pay-per-view. But like I said, it's just very bland, and it's really frustrating when you invest so much time watching something that you loved growing up as a kid, even as an adult now that, we're adults, something that we love to watch. And it's just horrible. Like there's nothing going on.
They're asking us to invest, if you're going to watch NXT, Raw, and SmackDown, they're asking us to invest 6 hours every week, which is a lot of time. Over the course of 3 days in a week, 6 hours.
6 hours, and then you add in a 5-hour pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's 11 hours.
Yeah, and then, the mixed match challenge, another half
horrible.
hour.
I think that was such a horrible idea.
Live, another hour. Like, that's a lot of time that they're asking us to invest, and it doesn't feel like they're giving it back to us, and it's insulting, honestly.
Well, honestly, I mean, I don't watch the mixed match challenge because I think it's just horrible.
Mm.
We all know that the Miz and Oscar's gonna win because they're not gonna let Oscar lose. Like you can just
Yeah,
see that off the rip.
yeah,
You know, even if the Miz gets pinned, it's still a loss for Oscar.
yeah.
So
But
we
you know
already
what?
know we know who's gonna win.
WWE is happy to forget about their history all the time. So I don't know.
I think they're just doing this to partner up with Facebook. Maybe Facebook is
Sure.
giving them some amount of dollars to do this. I mean, I've been looking at viewership. The viewership hasn't been as great.
Mm.
Um, like I said, it's just the product right now is horrible. I'm hoping it gets better in a week and a half with Elimination Chamber and going forward. I'm really excited to see Ronda Rousey. I'm not excited to see her at Elimination Chamber taking away
No,
the spotlight from other women. I
doesn't
mean, they
make
should
any
have
sense.
waited to Monday Night Raw
Or
again.
just have her sign a contract anytime. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but like I said, they're just doing this to put butts in the seats because ticket sales have been low.
Hmm.
So, I mean, and then the rumor is, and like I said, this is a rumor to
Hmm.
have Ronda Rousey break Asuka's undefeated streak, which I think is horrible. She doesn't deserve it. Um, like I said, she's new to the business.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
people
you're
say
absolutely
people say,
right.
oh, but they let Brock Lesnar beat the streak. First of all, Undertaker had to sign off on Brock Lesnar
Hmm.
defeating him. And if you guys didn't know, Brock Lesnar and Undertaker have wrestled in the past, and they really are good friends. But when
Yeah,
they're in front of the camera, they like to show off.
yeah.
So
That was
you
that
can't
was
say
yeah,
it's
that
the
was
same thing because, like I said, Ronda Rousey's new to the business. She's training with T.J. Perkins at the moment, and she's also shooting a film. But she doesn't deserve to break Oscar's streak. If anybody deserves it, Sasha Banks, Bailey,
Sasha Bailey. There's all kinds of people who have been there
Charlotte,
for
Nia
a while.
Jax. Nia
I
Jax is the
think
most
the one I would
believable
like to
person
see.
who should be
Uh,
able to break the streak. She's the most. I mean, come on. The woman is like 6 foot, 265. She could bench press any wrestler, any
yeah,
female wrestler. She could bench press. But they're treating her like, oh well, yeah, we're gonna show like you're strong, but then you can't beat nobody. You can't get it done. Is how they kind of treated the Big Show in the past.
yeah. I've read. I wish I had the numbers in front of me. I don't have them. I think Nia Jax lost something like the third most matches in WWE across men and women. Like she lost well over 100 matches last year, which is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I mean, she should be the one. I mean, look. Granted, I love Asuka. She's a great performer. I think having an undefeated streak is great for the business. But I think they should have did it for Nia Jax.
Here's the problem with undefeated streaks in WWE. They never know what to do with them,
No,
right? They have someone win a ton of matches in a row. They had it with Rusev. They had it with,
they had it with Kurt Angle in the
further
past.
back Angle. They had it with, going way back, like Tensai, Prince Albert or whoever, whatever he was going by at the time. They have
Undertaker.
these guys, they have these guys win a ton of matches in a row, and then they don't know what to do with it. And then they're doing the same thing with Asuka. Hopefully they put the belt on her, but even then they're not going to know what to do with that after, and it's just more terrible planning, terrible writing, and just more reasons not to pay any attention to it.
I mean, unfortunately, I still watch. Excuse me, I still watch the product. Like I said,
Mm.
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
You're a fan, so we still watch it regardless.
yeah.
For you casual fans out there, or for you guys who like to say wrestling is fake, listen, we're grown ass men. We know it's fake. But yet you guys watch Love and Hip Hop. You guys watch the Kardashians. That's fake. Go on Instagram. There's a bunch of fake people on there. We
Here's
watch things. We watch things because it's entertaining.
here's people always ask me, why do I watch wrestling? I love I'm a huge sports fan. I watch wrestling because if you think about it, think about the Cubs winning the World Series, right? What if you could write that story? You would have the Cubs overcoming their biggest rivals. You would have them, overcoming injuries, overcoming all kinds of things. If you could write the story, if you know at the start the Cubs are going to win the World Series, you can write a story that is super compelling. And that's what the WWE can do, right? They're choosing who's winning every match.
Of course.
Obviously, if there's a drug suspension or an injury, they can't predict that. But given the ability to write the product, WWE is failing. They are given the opportunity to give us compelling stories and show us their work and show us how to get from A to B to C with super talented wrestlers in compelling stories, and they are not doing it. They are failing at their jobs, and they are turning off, even ardent fans like us.
Yes, of course. And well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it saddens me that they're basically stuck in a limbo. But moving forward, guys, we are now gonna announce the winner of the WWE Slam Crate. This is your favorite part of the show, announcing the
Favorite
winner,
part of the
Hertz
show.
Gevertz.
Let's go.
So the winner is Sharif F.
Great
Congratulations.
show. I'm so proud of you.
You are the winner of the WWE Slam Crate. I got the peanut gallery next to me over here just going off.
I just said I was proud of him. He did a great job.
Thanks for being a loyal subscriber. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking. Make sure to hit us up on our YouTube or on Geeks Unlimited email for your information. All we require is that once you do receive your Slam Crate, take a photo of it, send it to us so we can put it on one of our shows, so we can show the fans that you guys do actually receive your prizes. And starting next week, we're going to be starting a new contest for the same thing, for likes, subscribes, comments. But this time we're going to be giving away 2 3-month subscriptions to WWE Network. So 2 lucky winners are going to win next month's giveaway. What do you think about that giveaway, Gevertz?
I think that's great. That's more WWE Network than I have.
Ain't you on the payroll?
Not the WWE payroll.
So, guys, thank you for watching. Hertz Gevertz. This time, I'm not going to let you take us out because for some reason you always panic. I mean, it's all in the wrist, man. It's all in the wrist. But is there anything you want to say before we let the fans go and before we conclude this episode?
I really want for the WWE to take a step back, maybe use WrestleMania as a reset, and just take a step back and show us what I know you're capable of showing us. That's all I want.
Well, guys, that concludes another episode of the Announcers Table. I'm your host, B-Rye. My co-host, always, it's great to have you on here, the Canadian Screwjob himself, Hertz Gevertz. Until next week.
I think that's the first time he's ever given you a compliment.